Greetings, sports fans. Charles Colin and Isaac Moskowitz here to call what should be a fantastic full day of basketball. We're going from 10:30 to 6 o'clock in the Dragon's Den. We're living here today, but we've got a great job and a great show to put on for you right now, and we'll see if the girls and boys can do the same, as they have some great matchups here. The girls are now setting up to play Cheshire. The boys go ahead and try to look for some revenge against Brunswick. But right now we're setting up for this tip-off here. GFA looks to put this last game behind them. It's just a tough loss against Hamden Hall. A lot of turnovers that they committed, just some missed shots. But look, it's a change of mindset here, and they look to get back to their winning ways, as that tip-off is won by Greens Farms. And now Keaveney has this one. Brandt passes it outside. Marizal takes a long jump shot. That one is good, so they start this game off with a long two. We had a lot of those last game that looked like threes, but referees called them twos. I agree with some of them. Don't agree with maybe one or two. But
this one looked to be a two. I mean, from one angle, it kind of looked like a three, but two's a good shot.
Well, keep your eyes on Georgia Grabowski, 10 points away from 1,000. Unbelievable career she's had so far as she toops that three. That one is off the mark. That's what she's known for, those 3 points. That's what helps her get to 1,000 for sure.
Oh, 100%. Throughout her career, we've watched it. She's in her grades, so we've watched her career throughout most of the GSPN lifetime, and she's just gotten better and better at those three-pointers. Really great three-point shooter. Won the Landagood and Plenty Award a couple of years ago, and she hasn't looked back ever since. She's been a fantastic three-point shooter, especially from that corner, that hot corner. We sometimes call it the Grabowski corner, because she's just so...
Telling you, after point 1,000, they better put that plaque on there, let me tell you.
I 100% agree. But yeah, she's such a fantastic player. And one of the surprising developments of this year is that she's really morphed into a fantastic defensive player, too. Tons of rebounds and steals, especially in the first game. But against GCDS is when she really shone. She had five. I think she had five steals in the first half alone in that game, and that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a great defensive performance, and she's just gotten better and better in each game.
Evolving that part of her game has been a big reason why GFA has gotten a lot better this year, as there's a three-pointer, 7 away now. Just keep that counter ticking. As that one is swatted away, and this one's going to Greens Farms. So Delasanti to inbound this one into Marizal. Marizal now working against 11. Outside, now Keaveney in the corner. Gets past one, able to put that one in. So a nice drive by Keaveney, and this one puts GFA up by 5. And almost taken away. This one inside. Got to get around Delasanti, and they call it a jump ball. So a nice defensive play there by the Dragons. This one's going back to Cheshire, though.
So we put on a little ticker for you guys. We have Georgia Grabowski's points to 1,000 up on the screen right now, so you can follow along as we watch the exciting ride to 1,000, as you can say.
Now Marizal sizing up 22 as she puts this one in to 11. Has the work now against Grabowski, 24. Gets past Brandt, no, stripped away, and now it's a 3-on-3 to the basket. Brandt takes a shot from the free throw line. That one is good, a nice jump shot. Puts GFA up by more now. Offense showing a little bit. That's definitely a good sign, and a big turnaround from yesterday. Good job by Coach Harris to make sure they don't get inside their own heads and get back to their offensive power shot ways.
Absolutely. Offense was definitely a slog in the last game. They really couldn't get anything going. Almost had a shutout in the third quarter. I think they did have a shutout in the third quarter, but they were able to score some points towards the end, get them in good shape, just getting some momentum going in that last game. But yeah, offense was definitely a struggle, and what they've done really well, Coach Harris has really drawn up a good scheme to get players involved. It's a really balanced offensive attack. You have a Georgia Grabowski three-pointer. We've been used to saying that. But you also have a good amount of jump shots in the middle and then points in the paint. A good mix of scoring drives, which is really the reason why GFA is up by 11 points. Sorry, not 11 points. Sorry, they have scored 11 points. Yes, they've up by 9. But they've had a really good offensive showing, and their defense has been strong, as it usually has in these last 3 games. So if they can get the offense going and the defense stays strong, that's a winning recipe.
Well, a timeout was taken by Cheshire to try to stop the momentum. that the Dragons were continuing to push with. Here's an inbound pass coming for Cheshire, down by 9 early. That's been in large part to Greens Farm's just really well-played defense. As you can see, Keaveney ganging up with Marisold in the corner, but they're able to escape it. Has to get around Delasanti. That one is up and no good. There is a foul called, though. 11's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Makes the first one. And the second one's off the rim, rebounded by Keaveney. Now Keaveney storming ahead. Passes this one outside to Brent. Guarded by 5. Nice pass inside. That one is in. 5 points away. Halfway there. Came in with 10 points to go with. What a great steal by Keaveney down the other end. Not able to put that one in. That one's juggled and now rebounded by Cheshire. 5 has it in the corner. Passes this one out to 23 as she drives. Puts this one in. 11 floats that one up, and that one is good.
5 more points to go. We'll see how she draws this up on this drive. She's open in the corner. Watch her in the right-hand corner right there.
As Grabowski fires it into Brandt. Now outside, Keaveney thought about taking the shot, but does not. Delasanti from the hot corner. That one is good! So she hits the 3. A nice 3-pointer by Delasanti. Haven't seen too many of those, but able to convert that one. That just shows she can hit from beyond the arc. As Keaveney tries to drive that one in. That is no good, and rebounded by Cheshire.
Definitely, she's really morphed into a good offensive player, especially from the arc. She's known for her defensive ability, but usually, not so known for offensive capabilities. But this year, she's been working hard to try to cement herself as a good all-around player, and that 3-pointer is definitely a good data point.
As an inbound coming here, Marisold now has to get around 5 outside the Delasanti. Now Keaveney shoots this one from the corner. That one is off the mark. Rebounded by Grabowski. She puts that one up and no good. Gets her own rebound. Puts behind the back, and that one cannot convert as she's wrestling for it. And this one's going to go back to Cheshire. 10-point lead for the Dragons. Like I said, good to see that offense out and about. As 11 has to get past Keaveney in the corner, almost stolen away by Grabowski, and Keaveney has it. A travel is called against Cheshire, so Greens Farms will have this inbound. Mass break is called by the referees. And I like that call. It's getting a little bit chippy, so.
Exactly, yeah, you want to
give him a little bit of a break.
Give him a little bit of breather, literally.
Yeah, that is the definition. I like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
GFA up by 10. They've got to be happy with their offensive performance. Like I said, was in a little bit of a funk, in a little bit of a rut and on the offensive side of the ball these past couple of games. But Coach Harris and crew, it looked like they've figured something out. They've figured something out that's working. Good balanced offensive approach and offensive attack. They've really found something that works, and they're going to try to continue it. And it starts with good passing, good ball control, virtually no turnovers for GFA so far. And they held the ball well, and when you have those possessions and you're able to drain those shots, you get the points.
As 5 takes the jump shot, that one is off the mark and rebounded there by Brandt. Now Marisold takes this one up. Fires it in, and that one is just out of the reach of Brandt as Cheshire takes this one up now. Now going up against McCall. Spins around a bit. Now takes a deep 3. That one is off the mark. Rebounded there by GFA. Outside, Grabowski has to juggle that one. Takes a jump shot. That one is no good. I think the biggest part of that Hamden Hall game was just throwing up some shots out of desperation a little bit. When you fall behind, trying to go back as quickly as possible. You can see that they're taking a lot better shot selection so far when they're up. I mean, of course, that makes sense.
Exactly.
But you sort of have to have that mindset even when you go down. Take the shots that are available to you, as there's a steal there from Greens Farms. It's a 2-on-2. Brandt gets around 23. Puts that to the basket. It's no good, but she's going to go to the line to shoot 2 to try to make this a 12-point game for the Dragons.
Exactly what you were saying about shot selection. When GFA's up, they tend to make better shot selection. They shoot the shots that they know that they can make, or they know they make usually, and they're not hurried or rushed by it. And I know it's easier said than done when you're down, but that's exactly the kind of mindset you need to have. You need to say, all right, we're down, but we're not out of it. And so if I make these shots, if I take the shots that are available to me, and I take the shots I know how to make, then I'll be able to help my team claw their way back from a deficit. And that's kind of what was missing in the GFA's last performance. They just tried to do too much. They tried to, be the hero and shoot the 3 or get the really hard, not free throw, but the hard layup in the paint. And so, really great job by GFA now to slow down their attack and really get things going on offense by taking good shot selection.
Makes 1 of 2, and Cheshire now has the opportunity to go back on the other end. They're in need of some points here. It's been good defense being played by GFA that's limited those opportunities as 12 puts that one up and in, and that ends their scoring drought. Now a 9-point game. As this one's inside the McCall, had that one tipped, and Cheshire gets it now the other way.
Cheshire's defense playing a little bit more press coverage. They're doing a good job of clogging the GFA passing lanes, and that was the problem in their last game. A good defense there by GFA and Molly Keaveney getting her hand in there and stealing the ball away.
Grabowski takes a deep shot. That one is good. See, are they calling this a long 2 or a 3? I believe that's a long 2.
A long 2.
Or no, that's a 3.
That's a 3.
That's a 3-pointer there. 2 more points on this race. She could get this in the first half of the first game. As that one is taken by Brandt. Here's an opportunity. Could this be it? Maybe she even wants to hit a 3 to make it 1,001 before she even reaches 1,000. I don't know. As there's a nice put in underneath the basket. 10-point game. Marisol inside to Brandt, and there's the foul. So it's going to be an inbound underneath the basket for the Dragons. Modzalewski set to check in, and Brandt it looks like Keaveney's coming out. There's a pass outside, Modzalewski. Grabowski takes it past 5, has that one stripped away, and the Dragons will get the ball right back. Outside, Grabowski takes the deep shot off the mark as 5 takes this one. Gets it around Marisol. Now 11 takes a deep shot. That one is no good. Rebounded there by Modzalewski. And now Marisol gets this one back. Outside, Grabowski. They left her open from the corner. That one is no good. As 24 gets the rebound for Cheshire.
You can feel the anticipation in the room, even though there's no fans. They're all waiting for that shot to fall. It's really exciting.
Well, they left her open from her corner. Just not able to convert as 13 throws up a shot. That one is good from deep. Now Marisol has this one. Well, she's open from the corner again. Don't do that.
No, if you're Cheshire, you don't want that to happen.
As Modzalewski takes this, now Marisol. Marisol drives outside. Grabowski from the corner. Oh, in and out. So close. As McCall puts one up, that one is no good, and a foul is called. So, what's this going to be? Is this going to be underneath the basket, or is it going to be a shooting foul? I believe it is going to be underneath the basket for Cheshire. See, I like to say I like to think anyway that we got a little bit better of understanding some of these referee signs as we go, but
I think we did.
We get mixed up sometimes.
Absolutely.
Not as much as our first inaugural year, but definitely got better as that shot's up and off the mark. That was pretty close.
That was close. I was looking at like, oh, maybe.
Well, a great job by Cheshire to make this a lot closer than it could have been. Only down 7 at halftime of the first game. Right, that's well done by their offense and defense to try to get it going. I mean, they scored. What was it? It was they went on a nice little run. It was a 7-point run.
Yeah, something like
at
that.
one point.
Yeah, their offense is pretty good, and it's a similar. I think they're in a similar position as GFA, where if they have the open lane and they take the shot, they're gonna make it most of the time. And that's kind of what you see. If GFA leaves a player open and they take a shot from in the perimeter, they're able to make it, especially those layups. They look like to be a kind of physical, middle-oriented team. That's not the right terminology, but that's kind of how I'm describing it. They've had a couple of opportunities from beyond the arc, hit one or two, but they haven't had much success from that. That's kind of the way some games go. I mean, GFA's been in that position before, but GFA's offense really starting to come alive, and whatever Coach Harris and crew have drawn up, it's working, and they're going to stick with it because it's really, really, great offensive strategy. It's really working. Getting Grabowski open in the corner is obviously a great strategy, and 2 points to 1,000. We'll see. I think it's going to happen this quarter, but we'll see.
Oh man,
it's really exciting. And then GFA's defense, solid as it has
very
been for
solid.
the last
A lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
See, that's the reason why they're ahead. Is their defense has been. Look, when the offense misses a few shots, defense bails them out with those great turnovers. So
exactly.
And that's what's been the key to victory so far.
Absolutely.
As Brandt drives against 24, spins around. That one is up, no good. Rebounded there by Grabowski. Could this be it? Off the rim. And she's fighting for that. It looks like a foul or a jump ball is called. This one's going to Chesire, though.
Oh, man.
You can see how much she wants to score that basket right now. She knows.
Oh, no, she absolutely knows, and the bench knows, too. They're cheering for her every time she has the ball in her hands and takes a shot.
Now, surrounded by two GFA defenders, a nice pass by Chesire outside. Thought about taking it, does not. They get it back at the top of the key. That one almost stolen away underneath the basket for Chesire, and it rattles in. So a 5-point game. Chesire's made this close. But I just wonder what kind of a momentum booster it's going to be when Grabowski scores that final bucket for 1,000.
Exactly.
What this energy is going to be like for the team.
Oh, man, it's going to be electric. And even though there's no fans in the stands, the bench will make up for that. They're really, really excited for her and this accomplishment. We'll see what it's going to be. It's going to be great when she hits that 1,000 mark. They're going to erupt in applause and cheers.
So Chesire to have an inbound here. They're down 7 as they make 2 substitutions. Puts this one in to 24 outside. Has to work against Keavney. This is a shot from the corner. That one is good. A nice 3-pointer. You can see Chesire's been extending their range all day so far. And they've hit from beyond the arc quite nicely.
Yeah, exactly. They're establishing themselves as a kind of a good, mild offensive team.
And that one's in! Grabowski has scored point number 1,000. What a feat for a fantastic GFA career that started in 9th grade and ending in 12th grade. From freshman to senior, from rookie to veteran. Wow. And then the team leader. An unbelievable job and a great way to look, the season's not over yet. She can score some more points, but look, extend the name on that list. Then I need to print a new one, hang it up. Grabowski enters the 1,000-point scoring list for Greens Farms. And what a great moment.
Oh, it's a fantastic moment. I remember we've called 3 of them on a GSPN broadcast.
We have.
And it's always great all around when it happens. All your teammates are cheering you on, your family's here. Just a really great performance all year round. And this year with COVID, when we were not even sure the basketball season was going to happen, she's able to get those 1,000 points. It's a really special moment. Congratulations to her and her entire family.
Well, she really wanted that. She put in some effort to try to get those last final buckets. It pays off. She gets it. It has to be a great feeling. Now you can focus on the game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now it's no longer I need to get those points. I need to get those points. You did it.
You did
it. It's done.
You're at 1,000. You've won it. You've got it. You've imprinted your name on the. I wish we could pan the camera, but the Greens Farms Academy Basketball 1,000 Point Club, joining an elite group of players who've you've scored 1,000 points in their GFA career. Really great accomplishment. Congratulations to her. What a fantastic achievement. Very well earned and well deserved.
Well, a great job by the Dragons. Just shows the camaraderie of the teammates. They're so happy for Grabowski that she finally hit that mark. And a great moment for her, something she'll probably remember for the rest of her life.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, in this game, could be a bit of a momentum booster. GFA's had the momentum so far, but we'll see how they play. I think I'm going to see some more ferocity on their offense because of Georgia Grabowski's 1,000-point success.
As that one is no good, rebounded by McCall, and she's looking for a teammate, and it's going to be a jump ball. This one is going to go to Greens Farms. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get to 1,000 broadcasts. But
unfortunately.
It'll probably take a few more years to get to that, but
yeah, just a few.
I mean, we have to graduate sometime, right, Isaac?
Exactly.
As Delasanti thought about taking the three, but does not. Now outside, Grabowski fires it in to Modzalewski. She's not able to get that one. And right off the fingertips of number 13, and Greens Farms then have an inbound here. It's a 6-point game as McCall checks out and Modzalewski checks out. Mirzal to take this one up. Now Grabowski outside to Brent. Has a little stutter step and gives this one in. Keavney past the outstretched arm of the defender and puts that one in.
Great situational awareness by Lynetta Brandt. Stops, stutter steps, looks for a player, has Molly Keavney streaking into the middle and able to pass it into her, and she scores the bucket. Really good offensive series there.
As 22 chucks up a three, and that one is good. So a 5-point game. They've been surprisingly good from beyond the arc.
Exactly.
They've been shooting that ball well. They've been responding to Greens Farms. They haven't been making a lot of threes. Cheshire's outscoring them on the three-pointer department, but as Delasanti fires this one outside to Grabowski, working against 3 defenders, that would have been really something if she was able to make that one work.
That would have been awesome to see. But Cheshire's defense short up there, and now they have another opportunity to kind of inch this one closer to a tie game.
Inside now to 5, 22, takes that deep shot, that one off the mark. Rebounded by Grabowski, and now out to Marizal. Keavney with the drive, puts that one in. Fires it down, 22, has to work around Delasanti. No way. This one's back to 22. That one is blocked by Brandt. A great defensive stand by the Dragons underneath the basket. Now Keavney has it. Inside to Brandt. Delasanti's open from beyond the arc, but they clamp fast. That one's up and good. It's a funky looking layup, but hey, they all count.
It works, it works. Now GFA widening their lead up by 9 points, and their defense has stood tall. This is a good series for GFA, especially after a couple of games where their offense just hasn't worked. Really great performance so far, but Cheshire's staying with it. They aren't letting GFA kind of pound them into submission. They're really doing well this game.
Outside Keavney. She shoots that deep shot. That one is off the mark and rebounded by Cheshire. Mirzal storming behind, trying to get that steal. A swipe by Delasanti, but this one is going in. We've got about 3.5 to go in this first game of the two, since they reset the score at halftime, as that ball is swiped away. And this one's going to Cheshire. Yeah, Cheshire just keep trying to claw away at this deficit. They went down early, but look, they haven't stopped. They're still here.
Exactly. No, they haven't. Yeah, they haven't gone away. They have a really good offensive attack. I think it's something. They're a similar team to GFA in their offensive capabilities in this game, where they're playing a very balanced offense. They get the points when they're available to them, and when they have an open lane to shoot a three, they're not afraid to. They're not going to try to force it in the middle, nor are they going to try to force it in the perimeter. They're trying to do a balanced attack and feed the players that they know have strengths in either respective positions on the court, and that's the same thing that GFA is doing. And I think the difference maker in this one is GFA's defense has stood taller at times and forced more turnovers, been more aggressive than Cheshire's defense. And the beachside bombardment just has awoken and is starting to kind of pull away a little bit in their offensive capabilities. But Cheshire's still right there. 5-point game. Really anyone's ball game at this point. Only a couple of shots and Cheshire's right back to a tie game.
Look, 2 3-pointers by Cheshire and a missed shot by Greens Farms has them in the lead.
Exactly.
So a 6-point lead, really not much, especially with how well they've been shooting the ball from beyond the arc. As 5 stops, gives this one to 24, outside the 12. Has that one swept away by Delasanti, a nice defensive play and a steal. As Marisol takes this one out. Keavney does not take the deep shot. Delasanti now drives underneath the Brandt. Brandt takes that jump shot. That one no good and rebounded by Cheshire. A jump ball is called as a nice effort by Grabowski, but this one's going to Cheshire anyway.
Cheshire had the possession and they get the jump ball when it's 50-50 ball there.
But why not grab it if it's in front of you, right?
Exactly.
.11 now working against Grabowski. Tight coverage, looking for a teammate, and she doesn't have anyone quite yet. No one's home, intercepted by Keavney. It's great strong defense again by the Dragons as she stops. She gives this one to Marisol. Delasanti open from deep and off the rim, just a bit short, as this one is now corralled by Brandt. Nice job not to travel. I would have traveled there. I'm not very flexible. Has that one off the rim, rebounded by Brandt. Keavney working, but that's that one blocked, and this one's gonna go back to Cheshire. .13 now has to get around Delasanti. No good. There's a foul, so 12 looks like she's gonna go to the line to shoot 2 to try to make this a 3-point game. Coming down to the wire in the final minute and 50.
Exactly. Cheshire stayed with it. Like we said, they didn't get demoralized when they were down by 10 or more. They've clawed their way back, and it's a 5-point game with an opportunity to put it within 3. So they've been playing well offensively, and their defense has stood tall when they needed to, kind of a bend but don't break approach.
As that first one is good. Substitution coming here for Cheshire and Greens Farms as Grabowski checks out. Gets some nice rest after scoring .1000. I think she deserved that a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. She's at 1,002 points, if I'm not mistaken.
And that one rattles in, so a 3-point game. And Cheshire has stormed back after being down by as much as 11. Well, basketball is a game of point runs, and Cheshire's definitely have been in control of this second half in terms of the good offense being played, and they've outscored Greens Farms in this second half as a travel is called, so Cheshire has the opportunity to tie it here with a 3-pointer.
Oh, absolutely. This is a big possession for Cheshire Academy. They can get some momentum going into the second game or win this first game. We'll see how they decide to play it.
But they're not going to do it like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that. Turnovers, GFA, the turnovers will kill you if you're playing GFA and committed a turnover there. Now GFA has an opportunity to kind of drain some clock and hopefully put their point margin up further so they can win this game.
Now Modzalewski outside Marisol. She makes 11 jump. That shot, though, not going to fall. Inbound here. It's a big possession for Cheshire coming up. We'll see if Greens Farms defense can rise to the occasion. As tight regarded by Keavney now, as she hands it off to 11. Just looking for a way through. Got 13 seconds to shoot. Modzalewski looks like she takes an elbow, so another bad turnover for Cheshire, I believe. As Morgan's gonna come into the game for Modzalewski. Or no, looks like they call Brandt on the foul, so it is gonna be an inbound for Cheshire. She puts it into 23. Outside, has that one taken away by Keavney, but this one's going to go to Greens Farms. They say it was tipped off of 22 despite the protest. Referee's call, and Greens Farms has the inbound. A great turnover again by this defense. That's really been carrying them so far.
Oh, absolutely. That's a fantastic play. Keavney getting a hand in there, but also it touches a Cheshire player, so they get the ball right back with ability to kind of widen their score margin, and a great save by Duran there.
And Keavney puts that one in. That's a huge bucket for Greens Farms. That forces Cheshire to go a little bit faster, maybe try to make a three-pointer here, but they don't have a lot of time to do it. As just nice defense being played all around, and that one's tipped away, taken by Delasanti, and well, you can just about put this one in the books, I think, for Greens Farms, as Marizold coughs that one up, but there is not enough time for Cheshire to put anything up on the board to chip away at that lead, as Greens Farms takes this one by 5 after a nice effort to try to come back by Cheshire, but GFA's defense stands tall, and Grabowski scores for 1,000th point today.
What a fantastic achievement. As I've said a bunch of times during this broadcast, really great feeling when you score that 1,000 points and you know all of your hard work and the training sessions you put in, after school practice sessions during the summer when you've done training and practices, it's all paid off here. You get 1,000 points, cement your name in the GFA books, and just understand that your hard work in this game has paid off, and it's really appreciated by your teammates. What a fantastic achievement. Congratulations to Grabowski and her entire family.
Absolutely, a nice way to start off the morning.
Oh, absolutely.
We promised action-packed. There you go. Big moment. Well, GFA takes the first one. We'll see what Cheshire and Coach and on their end goes ahead and switches up, and we'll see what Coach Harris has drawn up for the Dragons as they look to continue to keep the defensive pressure on, and the buckets falling from deep, although they haven't shot a lot of three-pointers. A few made three-pointers here and there. I think it was 2 by Grabowski, 1 by Delasanti, and other than that, it's been under the basket plays, a few free throws here and there. They don't go to the line often.
Exactly, but they've been very efficient on the offensive side of the ball. The drives they've had, they've been able to score points, and that's something that was missing their last couple of games, and it's reflected in the scoreboard. They're in a much better position. They don't try to force the three-pointer. They don't try to force anything. If the three-pointer's there, they're going to try to take it, but they're not going to try to force anything. They're going to use the capabilities that they have, the weapons and tools that they have, and get the points that they can get in any given situation and widen their lead. Great offensive series and offensive game plan by the Dragons, and we'll see how that either changes or stays the same in the second half, which is really the second game.
So, 8 minutes on the clock here for halftime as we get geared up for the second game. And we'll be right back at you in about 7. We'll see what changes are made for a nice, exciting conclusion to this first game. I know GFA takes on Cheshire again at 1 o'clock.
Absolutely.
But for now, we're just dead set on the next one. We've got our minds put on that, and we'll be right back for that in a moment. perfect. So we're back here. Guess what? No scoreboard reset.
We
You know,
spoke too
we
soon.
spoke too soon. You know, the minute that we get into the groove here, they switch it up on us.
I know.
I don't know. That scorekeepers, I guess, not really a fan of the broadcast.
No,
we keep
they're
having
trying
to
to keep
switch
us on
some
our
things
toes.
around. But hey, you know what? I like it when the scoreboard doesn't reset. This makes me happy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
We get to see a full game here rather than the two that we've been used to for the fast games. We'll see if that is the way the boys take it. I know they started doing the halves and then scoreboard reset, but I don't know. I don't really understand why they do it, but if it makes the athletic department happy, whatever.
Exactly. I mean, there's definitely a reason why they do it, or else they wouldn't be doing it. So, whatever reason that is, I don't know it. You don't know it, but they do it, and they're not doing it for this one.
They're not doing
Keeping
it here.
us on our toes.
So 11 takes that deep shot. That one is no good. Rebounded there by Delasanti. As this one's passed into Brandt, it's stripped away, taken now by Keavney. Keavney outside. Brandt now slows it down a bit. Marizald takes this one. Now outside. Delasanti with a drive, puts that one up, and that one is no good. Rebounded by Chesire. They're going to call that a jump ball. That one's going to Greens Farms.
Good break by GFA, getting there, getting in position, getting their hands on the ball, forcing that jump ball. That's a great offensive rebound play, something that was lacking in the last couple of games, but they've done well this game.
As Grabowski lines up from deep and hits that one. So a nice three-pointer by Grabowski, and she'll make this one an 8-point game. As there's a steal from Marizald, taken outside Grabowski. She puts that one up, and she's going to shoot two.
Wow, that was a good offensive series for GFA. George Grabowski getting that three-pointer, not from the corner this time, but definitely getting that three-pointer. Really, really great job getting the three-pointer and getting the foul too, possibly for 5 points scored by her in less than a couple of seconds. That's not something you see every day in a broadcast.
That one off the mark for Grabowski. And that one is good. So a 9-point game for the Dragons. And this one's passed out to 23. Has to get around Keavney. Boy, Keavney not letting up. Thought she was sidestepped, but she says no. As this pass is inside, surrounded by two defenders. A great pass. And this one's now taken from outside, off the mark, rebounded by Keavney. A swipe at it, has to get around two. And now she settles it down a bit. Nice job by Brandt to clear out a little bit of a lane. That one is stolen away, but this one's going to Greens Farms.
Maybe in that situation, I know it's definitely difficult when you're in the heat of the moment and trying to get the ball and get a possession going for your team. But maybe in that situation, don't try to let the ball go, kind of have a mind of its own, go by itself. And you see that in a lot of games, and Cheshire's done that a bunch in this game, trying to guard the ball but let it go out of bounds. As
Brandt puts this one in. It's an 11-point game, back to 11 points. You see the Dragons' offense starting and their defense starting just the way they started in the first half.
Exactly.
As here's a deep shot by Chesire. That one is off the mark. So another defensive stand by the Dragons. As Brandt puts one in to Grabowski, a push is called. So will be an inbound here for Greens Farms, although they definitely would rather the basket underneath, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But if they hit a three, then yay.
Yeah, then it works out in their favor. So kind of a trade-off there. Not one that you can make, though.
But Brandt misses that one, so they lose out on two. And there's a steal by Brandt. She says, thank you very much. Puts up a floater. That one is no good. And 11 passes that one, almost stolen away by Brandt again. Now outside. 24 throws up a shot. That one is no good. And 22 underneath the basket puts it home to bring this lead now to 9 for GFA.
Good momentum booster for Cheshire Academy. Getting those points, they've been in a little bit of a scoring drought, especially because of GFA's defensive capabilities. But nice play there, and good play to return the favor by GFA. Brant saving the ball there and getting it to Grabowski for a nice under-the-bucket layup.
That one across to 5. 5 now has to get around Brant, and she does. A timeout is called. So it's a 9-point game. Now Cheshire's offense starting to wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
So both offenses now chugging along at full speed.
Yeah, exactly. They found something that works going after halftime. They're trying to kind of explore the holes in the defense for GFA, figure out what works and what doesn't. What can they do? And it looks like the strategy they're doing is kind of a fast-paced offense. Try to get GFA on their toes a bit in their defense, because when GFA sets up on defense, it's really hard to get it past them, especially in these last few games. So Cheshire's realized that, and they're trying up different plays that get people open and get them kind of on the run towards the basket, gets GFA kind of in a confused state and where they're double guarding people and leaving some open, and that's kind of how their defense faltered in the other games, and Cheshire's trying to force that in this one, and they're sticking with it, hanging on, but they're sticking with it. 9 points. GFA's offense really becoming a story in this game, and we know they're a great offensive team, beachside bombardment, and it's been silent for a couple of games, but this one's really awakened, and on the George Grabowski 3-pointers and a really balanced attack in the middle too. They haven't shot a lot of threes, which is what we're used to seeing from the GFA offense, but in this game and in the last couple of games, we've been trying a more balanced approach, and in this game, it's paying off.
Absolutely, and I think we need to talk about someone we haven't talked about a lot today, but she's definitely made an impact so far, is number 10, Molly Keaveney. She's really, I mean, she may not be leading the team in scoring, but she's second, as Grabowski, looks like she slipped a little bit, but gets up, no big deal, as Brant puts one in. She drives, but it's going to be a timeout called by Coach Harris.
Yeah, definitely to try to check in on Grabowski, because she collapsed pretty suddenly there. She was clutching her, was it left Achilles, and it looks like she's okay right now.
Yeah, it looks like a rolled ankle.
Yeah, it might have been a rolled ankle or cramp there. I don't usually get cramps there, but it could
those
happen.
they're not fun.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say, is that they're not too fun. But Grabowski's going to go to the bench here. Just try to walk it off a bit, as Marisold here to inbound it. But yeah, Molly Keaveney, she may not be leading the team in points right now, but she's definitely second. She's made quite an impact in these first few games, and this is the best I've seen her play all season, I think.
Oh, absolutely. She's emerged as a nice freshman leader on the team.
Right on cue, hits that three-pointer. There we go. See, no announcer jinx from GFA. We're friendly in that regard. At least we like to think we are. But just use that as evidence.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not in control of any missed shots.
No. That's not us.
Not our fault.
Not usually. But yeah, she's definitely been a great player, a great field general on the team, leading the plays, leading the charge on the offense and defense too. She's been great on defense, getting steals and working with sophomore or Lynetta Brand on working on those, getting those balls back. And right there, she's showing her offensive capability. She's a great all-around player on this team and stepping into leadership positions going forward, especially next season when she's going to be a sophomore.
Brant now. Great screen by McCall. And she puts one into Marisold. Now Marisold directing traffic with a nice drive. Inside to McCall, a great pass, has that one up. It's blocked, but a foul is called, so she's going to go to the line to shoot 2, with GFA now up by 10. So McCall at the free throw line for two chances at some points here. And she could put the Dragons up by 12. And a mass break called by the referee. So we'll wait on these free throws as the players rest up a little bit. Yeah, a lot of running in those masks. It's tough.
Oh, yeah, especially in this game, too. This game, there hasn't been a lot of fouls, hasn't been a lot of stoppages of play. And so there have been a couple of series where GFA and Cheshire have just gone back-to-back-to-back drives without really any rest or any stopping. And in a mask, that's definitely difficult. So good call by the referee, getting the calling a mask break, letting the players reset, and get them back to strength and help them get them ready for the next series of play.
So GFA to have 2 free throws coming from McCall. First one is short. Second one right on target. So the Dragons take an 11-point lead. McCall gets her first points of the day so far. As 13 tiptoes around Delasanti. Now outside, 5 has a wide open look from deep. That one is off the rim and rebounded here by Chesire. Second chance opportunity now taken away. Keaveney storming down. She has everybody to beat and now slows it down. Wisely so. I don't think it would be prudent to take on the entire team, but
yeah, I wouldn't say so either.
As Delasanti shoots from deep, that one just a little short, but a good look from beyond the arc. They left her open. As this one's across court. Here's 11 with a deep shot. That one is in. So Chesire down by 8 here with a nice 3-point play. Haven't seen a lot of those this half. They haven't had a lot of looks from deep, but that one's in.
Yeah, exactly, and that's rare for GFA in the GFA game, where usually both teams kind of going step for 3-pointers, especially GFA with their beachside bombardment. But in this game, both teams going through an offensive, more balanced offensive approach. They're both trying to get the points that are available to them, take what the defense gives you, and then when you have that open look from the 3-pointer, don't be afraid to shoot it, but definitely don't force the issue from beyond the arc, and both teams are trying to do that, and it's working well for both.
That one is good. As with this next one, the Dragons look to make it a 10-point game. Back to that 10-point lead is, we talk about it's a comfortable, uncomfortable lead.
Exactly.
So you gotta stay on your toes with a 10-point lead, but also it's a nice cushion. As Brandt not able to put that one in. Now wrestling for the ball. This one's on the ground and a jump ball is called. This one goes to Chesire. Modzalewski checks in for Delasanti. And Chesire takes this one up again. So you see possession now switched to the Dragons on the scoreboard. They get the next jump ball. As this pass is flung in to 5. Has to get around Marisol, and now 11 takes this one from the top. Chesire still working around a pass. Miscommunication saved, and now Brandt has a clear path to the basket. Couldn't put that one in, though. So Chesire escapes that scary situation to go down by some more points. This one outside of the corner. Inside has to work around Marisol, then a foul is called. So Chesire will go to the line to shoot 2.
Exactly. That was not the greatest. Lack of communication, I think, was what the cause of that last play was. GFA side of the ball, Chesire lack of communication was resulting in Lynetta Brand getting the ball back and going down the other side of the court, unable to make the bucket, but that's kind of a lucky play for Chesire because that was miscommunication, could have been costly. Marisol with it. Passes it out to Grabowski. Grabowski, she's got options, but she's going to take it herself. Back out to Marisol. On the far side, Lynetta Brandt stepping, looking for someone. She finds McCall. McCall back out to Grabowski. Grabowski weaving through the defense, looking for someone. She takes it herself, and that's going to be a foul on Georgia Grabowski. Looks like it's going to be shooting because GFA is in the bonus. substitutions yet.
So Grabowski at the free throw line. And she has the chance to put her team up by 10 at the line. That one off the mark. Yeah, always hesitant to talk through a free throw shot.
It's like a golf shot when
Exactly.
they're setting up to hit
That's
the
what we
tee.
call it, the golf commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
As Grabowski looks to go. This one's up. It's in. It's in. Nice free throw made by Grabowski. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what protocol is when they're just setting up for the free throw shot. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I think probably hear us because there's
absolutely.
not too many people in the gym, and it gets super quiet. And I guess we sort of quiet down along with them.
It's kind of like when you're in a room and everyone starts to get quiet all of a sudden, then you're talking and then you start to lower your voice. So
Exactly.
that's kind of the situation.
As 11 shoots from deep, that one is good. A nice three-pointer made from Cheshire.
Cheshire's been sticking with it this entire game. They haven't let 1,000-point celebrations or anything like that affect their style of play. They've stayed with it, and now they're starting to claw back. 6-point deficit. That's definitely comebackable, as we like to say.
So more free throws to come for the Dragons. That one's in. Here for the second shot. And that one's good. So she converts both of them. It's now 24. Puts this one inside. That one's up and good. Cuts this lead. 6-point game. Marizov now. They've got 20 seconds to shoot, 50 on the clock. Grabowski spins around, couldn't convert it. Brandt underneath the basket, she couldn't convert it. And Cheshire has an opportunity to cut down the lead a little bit more, as here's a loose ball. A foul is called on the loose ball. Let's see who it's going to go against. I believe it is against the Dragons. So an inbound here coming for Cheshire. It's a 6-point game as Wells will come in for Brandt. Look, Cheshire, like I said, making it interesting. Look, they're down by 12 at one point, but
Absolutely,
it's a 6-point game. They make a 2-pointer here. It's a 4-point game. They just won't quit.
Yeah, exactly. They're not letting anything phase them. Any sort of miscommunications, fouls, change of possessions, GFA scoring runs, they're staying with it. Credit to their offense. They haven't gotten phased by anything, and they've silently been accumulating points, silently getting back into it. The lead has ebbed and flowed a bit in this game, and that's a credit to the way they've been playing. Great job, and we'll see how they can hammer home those final points.
Grabowski hits from the corner. Another big three by Grabowski. So a 9-point game. In Cheshire, the shot clock is turned off for them, so they'll probably try to get the last shot out. We'll see if it's a three-pointer or not, but Queens Farm's defense not allowing one. They allow one here, and that one is good. So now they've got 4 seconds to shoot. Marizol has to throw one up. That one off the rim. That was very close.
That was close. That would have been a nice highlight, wouldn't it, Charles?
Oh, absolutely. That would have been great. Look, she's had a great game so far. And that just would have made it even better.
GFA played very well this third quarter, and I'm glad that the score hasn't reset. We get to see the score in the full glory.
I'm very excited about the fact that the scoreboard's not resetting this game. I hope that's the way it goes from now on.
Exactly.
I'd like to see the final scores of these.
Absolutely, and GFA not taking their foot off the gas pedal. They've been playing well offensively and accumulating points at a good clip. They're playing well, and it's this balanced offensive style is what's been driving this lead. They've been taking the points that are available to them, taking the 3-pointers that have been available to them, but they're not pressing the issue. They're not hucking up threes when they don't need to, or taking ill-advised shots. They're being very efficient on offense, and that's one of the reasons why they've been able to accumulate points really at a good pace. They have been able to understand what situation they are in the game and enact their offensive plan accordingly. And so is Cheshire. Cheshire, they're down by 6, but that's definitely within the range of their ability to come back. They have had a similar offensive drive. I think the turnovers have been kind of what has kept Cheshire behind, and GFA's defense has been a little bit better than Cheshire's at getting those turnovers and getting those rebounds, but they're still very much in this game, and they have the ability to come back really at any time. Just one good scoring drive, one good series of scoring plays, and they're right back in it, possibly with, able to tie it up and then take the lead. So we'll see how this comes down to the final quarter. 8 minutes left. We'll see how they're going to decide to play this. Wonder if they're going to change anything up or just try to keep doing what they're doing well and mitigate what they've been doing badly.
We will see as Keavney takes this one out. Grabowski, they left her open. That is good. Honestly, that has to be rule number 1. Don't leave Grabowski open from beyond the arc. She's going to make you pay. She hit that one.
Absolutely. In training sessions for every team, you got to be like, all right, rule number 1 when we're playing GFA. Don't leave Grabowski open from the corner. She'll make you pay each and every time, it seems like.
You could just see the eyes light up when she sees that wide open three-pointer. It's like just like practice. Set my feet, put the ball in the basket, boom, get the job done.
Boom. Yep.
Well, it's going to be 2 shots here for Cheshire. When GFA took a 9-point lead with that three-pointer, they try to trim this down to 7 as she hits the first one. And that one is good. So Keavney takes this one up for the Dragons. It's a 7-point game now. Now Delasanti has it. Here's the drive. Passes this one to Maud Zalewski. Now Brandt does not take the three-pointer. Had Delasanti open from deep, but takes it herself. That one's off the board. Grabowski shakes that one in.
Another funky-looking shot, but it gets the job done there.
Look, it all counts.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's 2 points.
Doesn't matter if you're doing a granny shot or the most beautiful three-pointer you've ever shot. If if it makes it in, it makes it in. It's worth the same amount of points.
And that one is no good. Rebounded by Maud Zalewski, and now Keavney takes this one up. Slows the pace a little bit. Allows her teammates to get in position. Outside Delasanti. Now here's the drive outside Brandt. She drives, has that one blocked by 24. A nice play by Cheshire, but this one stays with Greens Farms. And they'll have an inbound underneath the basket. It will be Grabowski to take it. Puts it in to Brandt. Maud Zalewski outside to Keavney. Good pass inside, and it's taken by Cheshire. And now 5, outside 24, has a wide open look from deep. That one is off the mark and rebounded by Keavney. Now it's a 3-on-2 in favor of Cheshire. Keavney says, I don't care.
Yep, sets her feet just like practice. Shoots the ball up in the net. Really great situational awareness. This is why she's such a great player on this team. Knows exactly where she is at any given time on the court and able to make the other team pay with her shooting ability.
And Cheshire responds with a three-pointer to make it an 8-point game. Now inside Keavney had that one tipped away and rebounded about a 23, but Keavney has played so well tonight. Really done a great job as this one's inside to 11. 23 has that one tipped, and now Brandt takes it the other way. Brandt almost lost it. Now Keavney inside to Maud Zalewski. She puts that one up and in. A nice feed by Keavney. Another one for the stat sheet, and a timeout is called by Cheshire. I'd say that's a nice timeout taken there to try to slow the momentum down of Greens Farms, but the Dragons have taken a 10-point lead. Look, it's been, like I said, a game of runs, and they're winning the run right now.
Exactly. I mean, Cheshire's gone on a couple of runs. They've shortened the point deficit. They haven't quite taken the lead unless in the very early stages of the game. But JFA has been able to kind of keep their cushion and widen their cushion by their offensive capability to score points and by their defense. When the offense is, not gone silent, but not as scoring as ferociously as it usually does, the defense has been the plaster with a brick wall that's been able to help keep the point differential as small as possible. As large as possible, and able to do that there very effectively in this game. Really great defensive performance by GFA, and in the last few games too, they've done very well on defense. Looks like a little bit of a change of culture on the team too. They're not saying, "Oh, we'll just outscore them with our offense." They're figuring out what they've done on defense, what they do right, what they do wrong, and they're making adjustments to try to make them a really well-rounded team. And it's been paying off so far. They're up by 10 with about 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. Really great offensive and defensive game planning by the coaches and great execution by the players.
So, 23 puts it in for Chesire. We've got 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. With D&I for their offenses. There's a foul on Chesire, so an inbound coming for the Dragons. Not what they wanted on that possession. They need a point. I think their offense has done a pretty good job. It's the defense that I think needs to step up a little bit, but it's hard. They got the deep side bombardment hitting from all angles of the court.
Oh, absolutely. You don't know who to guard, and you don't know when to guard them. Everyone can shoot from beyond the arc, and anyone can shoot at any time. So definitely hard on defense, and oftentimes when you get into that desperation mode, you start fouling, and that's when you get in real trouble, because GFA will make you pay from the shooting, the free throws too, and inbounds. When you make those turnovers, really difficult to do. Really difficult to recover from that and come back, and especially if GFA is able to widen that lead and they're being very efficient on their offensive drives, you don't want to commit those turnovers, especially unforced errors. You want to be able to clean up your game and do what you do right, shore up your defense, and get your offense humming.
So an inbound here by 23 into 5, and Chesire is really in play. Again, if you're Chesire, you can hit the three-pointer, but you also don't want to force it, because that's just a waste of possession, which you do.
Absolutely.
By 13, and a hard foul by Varsity inside. So Chesire will have an inbound underneath the basket. Plays this one outside, 11. Wide open three. Puts that one in. She's been the leader on this team so far from deep. It's been her and 24. They've really been hitting those deep shots today.
Absolutely.
With a nice drive, but couldn't finish it down the other way. So Varsity storming back to try to get on defense. So Varsity fouls again. So another inbound is coming underneath the basket.
Absolutely. Number 11, number 24, sorry. Really great from beyond the arc, and they've been what's keeping Chesire in, or at least a part of what's keeping Chesire in this game. They've been able to score points when they need to, when things start to get a little hairy in terms of the deficit and things start to look bad for Chesire. They've been able to claw their way back in. A couple of good three-pointers, timely three-pointers, and they're right back in it. And so they've kept the team close. But GFA, they're going to need to do better than keep it close. They're going to need to have a good scoring drive, and it starts with that.
Well, that's a huge bucket by Chesire. Grabowski, he drives that one. No on one, but she goes to the line to shoot two. It's a 5-point game. Chesire, again, they're just not quitting.
Oh, absolutely. They're not quitting, and they're going a little bit of a run themselves. And what's happened in this game, it's gotten shrunken to 5, and then GFA's widened it again. And then Chesire's shrunk it back to 5. Yeah, exactly.
Hasn't gotten any lower than 3. GFA has been in control of the game all game, but it's been close. As Grabowski not able to get that first one.
So Chesire, they're going to have to, drop something or get something going to not just get it close, but to get the final push over the hill. Get to tie it in the game, possibly taking the lead, do something on their offense, and possibly, I think it starts with defense, shoring up their defense and getting that going. Really crucial for them to have success on the offensive side of the ball and eventually tie up this game.
Side to 13, he goes up against Grabowski, has that one stripped away, and jump ball. This one goes to Greens Farms. So a great play by Grabowski on what's been a great game so far. Gets it back for her team. It's a 6-point game. Varsity to inbound this one. Look, it's a 2-shot game. Chesire only needs 2 3-pointers, but we got to limit the turnovers a little bit.
Definitely. They're in it with their offense, but their defense has been the defense has been suspect at times, but it's been good so far. On the offensive side of the ball, the turnovers have been what's been killing them. They have to be able to shore up on those turnovers, get good ball control. That's something GFA has done really well in this game. They've been able to maintain the ball, very few turnovers, very few unforced errors as well. And really what helps with that is that helps you get your helps them get helps them get the ball back and get those offensive scoring drives and get points that they need to.
Grabowski takes the tumble, and now 5 takes it up for Cheshire. And almost taken away, but a foul is called.
Passes in. 5. She's got options.
And Marizal the guard. Here's the drive up and not able to shake in. Rebounded by 23. A no jump ball is called. Nice job by the referees to resume or to keep play going, but Brandt is taking this one in. Nice job to avoid a travel, and Marizal passes this one outside. Grabowski from deep, off the mark. Rebounded by Keatley, and she cleans that one up. And it looks like 24 is shaken up a bit. You gotta hope that she's okay. So, an 8-point game for the Dragons as number 24 gets attended to by the medical staff. We gotta hope that she's okay. Looks like something that happened, took a wrong step. But a chance for both teams to regroup. Cheshire down by 8. They get the jump ball. And Greens Farms, I mean, they just keep scoring on the offensive end, and as long as they prevent Cheshire from scoring, as you know, as many points as they'd like, I mean, they've got a good shot of coming out today with a win. They have 3 minutes. That's a lot of time to sort of stay strong on defense, but I think they have it in them. They've been playing
definitely
well all game. They just have to stick to what they've been doing well and not give in to your fatigue.
And I think this little bit of rest helps them regroup and recover. Both teams help them regroup and recover and figure out a game plan for these final 3 minutes and 10 seconds. But absolutely what you were saying, GFA's defense has been playing well these past 3 games, and they can't let up now. They have a win within sight, and their offense has been playing well. If their offense scores at the same pace or even slightly slower and their defense shores up, then they are in a good spot to kind of prevent a Cheshire scoring surge that could happen towards the end of the game. And GFA's chances do look very good to come out of here with a win. On the flip side, Cheshire is in striking distance.
Absolutely.
They have, down 8. That's a decent sized margin of error, but a decent sized deficit, but definitely able to come back. You don't have much margin of error, but if you play well and you do all the things right, then you're able to kind of go on a scoring surge and help your team that way. It looks like 24 is back on her feet, walking on her own power.
That's a good sign for Cheshire. She's been so great from beyond the arc. They're going to need some more of those 3-point shots for now. Looks like she's going to go to the, we don't really have a blue medical tent, but something similar to that, I guess the blue medical mat.
Yeah, exactly. You have the blue medical mat or the blue medical bench.
as this will be a Cheshire inbound. So in search of some big points on this drive, number 5 takes it slowly, has to get around Marizold. Here's a bump. 12 passes it outside. 13 throws up a deep shot. That one is off the mark and rebounded, or not rebounded. It looks like it tipped off of Keaveney. He went to go to try to get that, so Cheshire is going to retain possession and get the shot clock to reset.
Absolutely. That's kind of a best of both worlds for Cheshire. They're able to have the opportunity. Would have liked the three-pointer on that last drive, but now they have a chance to try to shoot another or get points to try to close this deficit.
And there's a foul, so it looks like Cheshire's in the bonus, so she will be shooting some free throws. A lot of fouls by GFA's defense, so it's no surprise that Cheshire found their way in the bonus at least at some point.
Yeah, no surprise. GFA is a physical team, especially on defense and especially in late game situations. Have done well to avoid bonuses and over fouling, and I don't know if you can foul out in this league, but if you can, they've definitely done a good job at avoiding that this season. But this time Cheshire makes their way into the bonus, and that could be a difference maker going forward. And GFA's got to make sure that they don't go too crazy on the fouls, because Cheshire's a good free throw shooting team and they can make you pay.
As that one is good, a 7-point game, a timeout called by Cheshire, and good job with that timeout. I think that's well called by Cheshire coaching staff. Try to regroup here.
Absolutely.
And for GFA, it gives them a free opportunity to get their defensive plan all set.
Yep, they, kind of the 2-minute drill. This is really a 3-minute drill. But in basketball, you have this late game situation. You have to figure out what you're going to do on defense. It's a tricky situation because you don't want to clamp down on them too hard and risk fouling them, and Cheshire's in the bonus, and that could lead to a lot of points scored off of free throws, free points in that aspect. So you don't want to be too loose, because then it opens up the opportunity for Cheshire to shoot the three or get in the paint and get those buckets and really shorten that lead. So GFA's defense has played well, but this is a good test to see how they perform in late game situations when it's close, because in the last few games it's been both the deficit's been large in either way for GFA. Either they've been losing big or they've been winning big, and so the defense, what they've done in late game situations really hasn't mattered. But in this game, it matters a lot, and we'll see how they play this one going forward.
So Marizold puts this one in. Brant working against number 11 as she drives outside. Nice kick out. Marizold for the jump shot. That one is short, and Brant's there for the cleanup job. Cheshire now down by 9 as a nice steal by Marizold. She fires one in. Delasanti able to convert on the other end. Capping off what's been a great game for JC Marizold so far, and that's just an example of the defense and offense that she provides. As there's a deep shot, that one is off the mark. Substitution as 24 set to come back in. Good news for Cheshire to provide that firepower. But the bad news is they've got 1 minute and 52 seconds to score 11 points.
Yeah, that's a tall order. So we'll see how they decide to play this. GFA's gonna slow it down. Smart play there. Kind of drain some clock. Don't want to risk any fouls or any turnovers and quick points for Cheshire.
The GFA probably slow playing this, as that one goes through the legs of Marizold. And Cheshire's going to get this one right back. It's going to take some three-pointers and some quick steals to get back in this one.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. Stranger things have happened, but definitely difficult for Cheshire to do.
24 drives up against Brant, couldn't put that one in, and rebounded there by Delasanti as she storms down outside to Grabowski. She shoots this one off the mark. And now 11 is surrounded by 2 defenders and makes her way through. Passes this one outside to her teammate. Going against Brant, puts that one up and off the side of the backboard. No out of bounds called by the referee, and Greens Farm's able to resume play in the final minute of what's been a good game played offensively and defensively for the Dragons. as Keaveney takes this one out by the yellow line. Delasanti drives here outside. Brandt now takes this through. That one's up, no good. Rebounded by Chesire. And a foul is called. Oh, it's a timeout. Timeout rather called. In the final 36 seconds. It hasn't been Cheshire's offense that's been lacking, although at times it was, but mainly it was just the defense not being able to keep up with this high-powered GFA offense that's made such a step since the last game. Good to see that last game didn't affect them too bad mentally against Hamden Hall.
No, and I think that's part of their culture. Their culture is 1-0. Take what you did well in the last game, you lost, but you treat what you did well as a win, and take that into the next game and say, hey, we're 1-0. We can, build off of what we did last game. We can build off of that confidence, and we can go out and get this one, become 2-0. And so that's how they've started to play this game. That's how they play pretty much every game, and it's been working well in this one. They didn't let the poor offensive performance last game affect them. They drew up different plans, drew up different schemes, and it's worked well. 66 points. That's one of the highest scoring games for GFA we've seen on a GSPN broadcast. And it's been a credit to the efficient offense they have. It hasn't really been off of an enormous amount of three-pointers. It's been off of efficient play. They've scored on the majority of their possessions, and that's exactly what you like to see as a coach. Using the weapons that you have and getting open and using the points that you can get. Really great performance offensively by GFA and Cheshire too.
As Grabowski tries to tiptoe through two defenders, cannot. Here's the drive and no good, but Cheshire's going to have some opportunities at the line to get some points. So down by 11, they're trying to make this a 9-point game. That one is good. The substitution coming in here late. Let's see if they try to nail this off the rim and kick it out for a three-pointer to make this a 4-point play.
That would be interesting. They might try to do it. It's tough to do.
Wow, that rattled. That was dramatic. Rattled in and out. And this one's going to go to Cheshire, though, as a foul on the rebound. It's a 10-point game. They make the same substitution in reverse as 22 comes back on. Now outside. Fires this one in, and it is taken away by Brandt. Final 15 seconds. Merzal looks to dribble this one out and cap off a great game and a great resurgence to the offense and defense. And the buzzer sounds. Said that a little bit too soon. Now the buzzer sounds.
Now the buzzer sounds.
And now the game,
is done.
A great job by the Dragons, both offensively and defensively. They get back to their winning ways to even their record at 4-4. Just a all-around great comeback from the last one. And again, like I said, it's good to see that game yesterday didn't affect them too badly mentally. In fact, it looks like it gave them a little bit of fire here to come back and retake their three-point shooting ways, their point scoring ways, their great defensive efforts on the other end. So all around, great job by the Dragons.
Yep, absolutely. Great offensive performance, balanced offensive game. One of the higher scoring games we've seen the Dragons put up in.
Yeah.
It wasn't off of three-pointers, which is interesting because that's what it's usually been off of in recent years. And that's kind of a shift in mentality and a shift in strategy, and it paid off in this game. They played really well on the offensive side of the ball. Really great, balanced approach, got the points that they needed to, didn't force the three-pointer, didn't force the shots that weren't there, and resulted in a very efficient offense. And that's one of the reasons why they've scored 66 points in this game. And then defensively, they played very well too. Not as locked down as what we saw in GCDS, but they didn't need to be. Cheshire was a good offensive team. They did not bend but don't break at times. But more importantly, they did the turnovers that they got the turnovers that they needed to. They pushed Cheshire to make shots that were ill-advised and got those rebounds. They were efficient on defense too. An all-around very efficient play for GFA and resulted in a win.
Absolutely, it was really the defensive positioning. When Coach Harris changed from zone to man, it's a big shift for this defense.
Yep, definitely.
They've been playing a lot better because of it. GFA has a lot of physical players, and now they're able to use that to their advantage. So, GFA wins this one It was a great game. Let's hop into the land of good and plenty stars of the night tonight. Or I guess it's not really night, it's
Stars of the...
You know what I mean.
Stars of the morning.
Stars of the morning, exactly. Night game will catch you for the night game at 4 o'clock when the boys take on Brunswick. Also, stick around. The girls play at 1 o'clock again against Cheshire, so Cheshire may be looking for some revenge. GFA looking to continue what they did great this last game. But as for the good and plenty, land of good and plenty stars of the night, I started off with number 3 star, JC Marizal.
I agree.
Played so well today, gets her first notch on the star of the night for the land of good and plenty. GSBN post-game awards. Steals, great drives, great passes. I mean, all around great night. This is the best I've seen her play. It was against a tough opponent too, so she
absolutely,
rose to the occasion. The great freshman leaving such an impact on the team. Look, it shows.
Yeah, it definitely shows, and definitely a well-deserved award for her. She's a very good leader on the team, and as a freshman, that's really impressive because you usually see senior leaders or sophomore or junior year leaders, but freshman leaders are pretty rare in basketball. And she stepped into that leadership position. She takes it from the point. Really has great situational awareness and court awareness. Great passer, and I would love to see the stats on her number of assists because although she doesn't score many points, she's right there to help with assists. She probably racks those assists up, and I wish, like in hockey, when you counted those in a point tally for players, I wish the basketball did that too, because she would definitely be right up there with some of the best players because of the way she is able to get those assists, and really well deserved. She played very well this game. Had a great control of the game, great field general, and
absolutely, she's so shifty with the ball in her hands. Slips by defenders. And
absolutely.
Makes some great passes, and look, she scores on the end. She's got a nice jump shot.
Yeah, exactly.
She made that known today.
Great ball control, and she is a good shooter, and she's going to be continuing that, performing on that, and improving on that throughout her time here at GFA.
Number 2 star. This one's going to go out to Molly Keaveney.
Absolutely.
A great performance. Again, I think this is the best I've seen her play. This is definitely a breakout game as to speak. I mean, she scored so many great points. She had some great passes, great on the defensive end with steals and loose balls. Not a lot to say other than just wow.
Yeah, she
so confident with
exactly.
those the shooting abilities, taking good shot selections, making the right decisions at the right time. That leads to a win for her team tonight.
Oh, absolutely. She, like Marizal, she was a good field general on the court. She really was a good leader. Good situational awareness, and she made a couple of points herself, casing her offensive capability, but also made a couple of great steals and blocks on the defensive side of the ball too. Great play all around, definitely well deserving of the second Good and Plenty award.
And number 1, scoring her 1,000th point, making GFA have to print a whole new sign in the Dragon's Den. Georgia Grabowski, she's just lit it up from beyond the arc. Great with the put-ins underneath the baskets. Just such a confident player, such a great leader. Always has a smile on her face, although you can't really see it with the mats. But rest assured, it's there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know it. She's just having fun out there and plays another great game. Just a fantastic leader. Not much you can say about anything that she does other than that's just impressive. And she'll shoot that from wherever. She owns that corner though from deep. Just a lot of fun to watch her play every single game.
Oh, absolutely. 1,000 points, very well deserved, and that's come off of her many three-pointers and great, leadership on the team and on the offensive side of the ball, but also her defensive capability too. She played well on defense these last couple of games, and she continues to play well in this game. Really well deserved, definitely deserving of the first Good and Plenty award.
Absolutely, and look, that's something that she's changed a bit. She hasn't always been known for her defense, but this season's really been breakout for that side. Now a two-way player, two-way threat. That's just so much fun to see, and it's great for her teammates. Well, thank you all for tuning in. This has been Charles Kohler and Isaac Moskowitz. We're going to be back at you at 1 o'clock and back at you at 4 o'clock. We're living here today. This is our home.
Yep, exactly.
So we're going to continue to provide you with GSBN action all through the day until about 6 o'clock at the end of the boys' game against Brunswick. But for now, we will see you in a little bit. Signing off.